Nearly 100 anti-gun bills in Texas. Are you kidding me? The Lone Star State, the stronghold of freedom in the Second Amendment, is now under siege by a tidal wave of anti-gun legislation. They're coming after your semi-autos, your magazines, and even your ability to sell a firearm to your neighbor. And red flag laws? They want to strip you of your rights without a shred of due process. This isn't California, folks. It's Texas. These lawmakers are trying to dismantle the very freedoms that make this state great, and they think we're just going to sit here and let it happen. Not a chance. In this video, we're calling out the anti-Second Amendment politicians, breaking down their ridiculous bills, and showing you the fight back from pro-gun champions who refuse to back down. If you're tired of bureaucrats trampling on your rights and pretending it's for your own good, then stay with me. We're going to expose their plans and give you the tools to stand up and say, "Not in my Texas." This is more than just politics. It's about defending your freedom, your family, and your future. Let's get into it. Nearly 100 anti-Second Amendment bills filed in the Texas legislature. Let that sink in. The same Texas that's always been the bastion of gun rights and rugged individualism is now the stage for one of the most coordinated assaults on your freedoms. This isn't just a coincidence. It's an organized, calculated attempt to reshape Texas's identity and set a dangerous precedent for the rest of the country. Think about the implications. If a state like Texas, with its strong pro-gun heritage, falls victim to this wave of anti-gun legislation, what's stopping it from happening nationwide? California, New York, and Illinois are already leading the anti-gun charge, but Texas? That's a whole different ballgame. If these bills pass, it sends a clear message. No state is safe, and your constitutional rights are always up for grabs. Who's behind this relentless push? Predictably, it's the usual suspects. Democrat lawmakers who think they know better than the Constitution. State Representative Terry Meza is one of them. Her proposals aim to ban standard capacity magazines and even criminalize home gunsmithing. She's joined by others like Diego Bernal, who's gunning, pun intended, to end open carry in Texas with HB 834. Meanwhile, Ron Reynolds is hiding behind the guise of assault weapon bans with HB 623, a bill that would effectively strip Texans of their semi-automatic firearms. And let's not forget the so-called common sense proposals like universal background checks, which are nothing more than a backdoor to federal-style gun registration. Bills like HB 397, HB 682, etc. would force private firearm transfers to go through government hoops, paving the way for more control and less freedom. Then there's the trifecta of bills: House Bill 461, House Bill 874, and House Bill 883, mandating state-level gun registration by requiring firearm dealers to report multiple purchases. Sounds harmless? Think again. This is just another way to track and monitor law-abiding citizens. But the audacity doesn't stop there. Measures targeting military-aged adults are blatantly discriminatory, attempting to disarm those most capable of defending themselves. Some clear examples are HB 306, HB 313, etc. All are age-based pieces of legislation masquerading as safety measures. These lawmakers aren't just attacking your rights. They're attacking your identity as a Texan and your ability to protect your family and property. What's truly infuriating is the broader strategy here. This isn't just about Texas. It's about creating a blueprint for dismantling the Second Amendment across America. These bills are test cases, trial balloons to see how much freedom they can strip away before you start paying attention. And once Texas falls, you can bet the rest of the country won't be far behind. And this is just the surface. Wait until we dive into the details of these bills, the specific ways they aim to erode your rights piece by piece. It's worse than you think. Let's start with red flag laws. Texas lawmakers are pushing a series of bills: House Bill 234, House Bill 478, House Bill 655, and House Bill 893 that are nothing more than thinly veiled attempts to trample on our Second Amendment rights. These bills would allow the government to confiscate your firearms based on mere allegations without any semblance of due process. Imagine waking up to find your legally owned gun seized because someone thinks you might be a threat. No trial, no conviction, just guilt by accusation. Red flag laws, also known as Extreme Risk Protection Orders, or ERPOs, are designed to enable courts to temporarily remove firearms from individuals deemed a danger to themselves or others. While proponents argue these laws prevent violence, they often bypass fundamental constitutional safeguards. In many cases, these orders are issued ex parte, meaning the gun owner isn't even present to defend themselves. This lack of representation flies in the face of due process, a cornerstone of our legal system. The potential for abuse is staggering. Disgruntled neighbors, estranged family members, or even political adversaries could exploit these laws to disarm law-abiding citizens. Once your guns are taken, good luck getting them back. The burden of proof shifts to you to prove you're not a threat, a near impossible task. This presumption of guilt undermines the very principles of justice. Legal scholars have raised alarms about the constitutionality of red flag laws. The Cato Institute highlights that these laws often violate due process by allowing firearm seizures without prior notice or hearing. Even the American Civil Liberties Union has expressed concerns over the lack of adequate safeguards in such legislation. Then there's HB 623, which will ban semi-automatic firearms under the guise of an assault weapons ban. HB 623 was introduced by Representative Ron Reynolds. Anti-gunners make it appear that it only targets niche or military-grade weapons, but in reality, it goes after firearms that millions of responsible Texans use every day for self-defense, hunting, and sport shooting. HB 623 aims to disarm the people while pretending to address public safety, but it does nothing of the sort. Semi-automatic firearms like the AR-15, which is the most popular rifle in the country, are squarely in their crosshairs. And let's not forget, they're coming for your handguns too. Many semi-automatic pistols are on the chopping block. Calling this an assault weapons ban is a deliberate deception. It is targeting guns based on how they look rather than how they function. Cosmetic features like a pistol grip or adjustable stock don't make a firearm more dangerous, but HB 623 uses this nonsense to justify the ban. And the insanity doesn't stop there. Other bills: House Bill 306, House Bill 313, House Bill 384, House Bill 579, and House Bill 1150 are taking aim at young adults, disarming anyone under the age of 21. Let's break this down. They're targeting the very group that's statistically more likely to be victims of violent crime. These bills claim to promote safety, but they strip legal adults of their ability to protect themselves. This isn't about safety, it's about control. Military-aged adults are the backbone of our nation's defense, yet the Texas legislature wants to treat them like second-class citizens. These are the same individuals who can serve in the armed forces, vote, and pay taxes, but somehow they're deemed unfit to own a firearm. It's an insult, plain and simple. Stripping young adults of their rights sets a dangerous precedent, opening the door for more age-based discrimination in the future. This attack on semi-automatic firearms and young adults is just the beginning. Next, we'll dive into a series of so-called universal background check bills they're pushing: House Bill 397, House Bill 682, House Bill 808 and House Bill 828. These are nothing more than thinly veiled attempts to create a de facto gun registration system and would mandate background checks for private firearm transfers, effectively forcing every gun sale or transfer into a government database. By requiring universal background checks, the government gains the power to track every firearm transaction, creating a comprehensive registry of gun owners. This centralized database becomes a tool for future confiscation efforts, as authorities would know exactly who owns what firearms. It's a direct assault on your privacy and a blatant infringement on your Second Amendment rights. Moreover, these bills place an undue burden on law-abiding citizens, making it more difficult and costly to exercise their constitutional rights. Private sales between family members or friends would be subjected to the same bureaucratic red tape as commercial transactions, treating responsible gun owners like criminals. And the madness doesn't stop there. There are a slew of bills that masquerade as public safety measures but are nothing more than blatant assaults on your Second Amendment rights. Let's break down these insidious proposals and expose them for what they really are. There's the Firearm Dealer Reporting Bills, HB 461, HB 874, and HB 883. Under the guise of monitoring, these bills would force firearm dealers to report multiple purchases to state authorities, effectively creating a state-level gun registry. Don't be fooled by the benign language. This is a direct pathway to government surveillance of law-abiding gun owners. Once the government knows what firearms you own, it's only a matter of time before they come knocking to confiscate them. Then there's that bill Representative Terry Meza has proposed, the home gunsmithing and magazine capacity ban. Imagine being treated like a felon for customizing your own firearm or owning a magazine that holds more than an arbitrary number of rounds. These measures don't target criminals. They target you, the responsible gun owner. By restricting magazine capacity, they're ensuring that you're outgunned in a self-defense situation. It's a deliberate attempt to tip the scales in favor of criminals. And last but not least is Representative Diego Bernal's House Bill 834, which aims to repeal Texas's open carry laws, stripping away your right to visibly carry a firearm. Open carry is not just a tradition, it's a deterrent against crime and a fundamental expression of constitutional rights. By ending open carry, the government is effectively telling you that your right to self-defense is conditional and can be revoked at their whim. So much for all that. But not all hope is lost. Amidst the relentless assault on our Second Amendment rights by anti-gun legislators, a few courageous lawmakers are stepping up to defend our freedoms. Representative Briscoe Cain, for one, has introduced a bill aimed at banning red flag laws in Texas. These insidious laws allow for the confiscation of firearms without due process, based merely on unverified accusations. Cain's proposal seeks to protect citizens from such unconstitutional overreach, ensuring that Texans are not stripped of their rights without proper legal proceedings. This measure is a direct counter to the anti-gun agenda that seeks to undermine our constitutional protections. Then there's Representative Ben Bumgarner's HB 920, a bill that would eliminate sales tax on firearms, ammunition, and related accessories. This initiative aims to remove financial barriers for law-abiding citizens exercising their constitutional rights. By eliminating the sales tax, the bill encourages legal firearm ownership and ensures that the government isn't profiting from citizens exercising their Second Amendment rights. This is a bold move to make firearm ownership more accessible and to affirm that our rights are not for sale. There are also bills like HB 925, introduced by Representative Briscoe Cain, and HB 1128, filed by Representative Kerry Isaac. These aim to reduce gun-free zones in Texas, which are most of the time soft targets for criminals, as law-abiding citizens are disarmed and unable to defend themselves when in these zones. By reducing gun-free zones, the bills seek to empower Texans to protect themselves and deter potential attackers. This approach recognizes that responsible gun owners are a crucial line of defense against crime. Pro-2A organizations like Texas Gun Rights play a pivotal role in defending our freedoms. TXGR is mobilizing grassroots activists to lobby their elected officials, ensuring that pro-gun policies are passed and gun control measures are defeated. Their efforts have been instrumental in past victories, such as the passage of constitutional carry in 2021. TXGR's commitment to a no-compromise stance on gun rights is a testament to the power of grassroots activism in shaping legislation. These pro-gun measures are a beacon of hope amidst a sea of anti-gun legislation. However, the fight is far from over. We must remain vigilant and continue to support efforts that protect our constitutional rights. And that's it for this video. The Texas legislature is under siege with nearly 100 anti-gun bills that threaten to erode our Second Amendment rights. From red flag laws stripping away due process to bans targeting semi-automatic firearms in young adults. On top of this, universal background checks aim to create a de facto gun registry, while proposals like HB 834 attack open carry rights. Thankfully, the fight isn't one-sided. Pro-2A legislators are pushing back with measures like banning red flag laws, eliminating sales tax on firearms, and reducing gun-free zones. But they need our help. Join grassroots movements like Texas Gun Rights and get involved in protecting our freedoms. Do your research, stay informed, and don't let anti-gun legislation slip by unnoticed. Most importantly, spread awareness. Every conversation, every share, every like counts in this fight. Here's how you can help right now. Leave a comment below with your thoughts. Like this video to boost its visibility. And share it with friends and family who need to know what's at stake. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and click that bell icon to stay updated. Together, we can fight back and ensure that our voices are heard loud and clear. Let's defend our 2A rights together.